Hey guys, welcome to Just Talk TV. My name is Nick.
Hi, Dazlan here.
And we're glad to be back, guys, after a long hiatus. All sorts of stuff happened.
Welcome to the first episode of 2021.
Exactly. It's been a long road to get back here.
A lot of things happened.
A lot.
Yes, a lot of.
You're talking about Christmas, and you've got the whole COVID thing, and then not to mention we've just undergone another lockdown.
Yeah, and also Chinese New Year was yesterday.
Yeah, Chinese New Year.
Happy Chinese New Year to everyone celebrating.
Kong Si Fa Chai, guys.
Kong Si Fa Chai. Xing Yi Kuai Le.
Xing Yi Kuai Le, yeah. Can you say that better? This must be the your heritage speaking.
Yeah, bro, represent, man.
Represent, man.
Gotta represent that half a percent or some shit.
I gotta say, man, I really love being back. I think I've missed being back. I missed us doing this.
Yeah, man.
It's good to be back, man.
Yeah, you too, bro. Yeah, we have a lot to talk about.
Unfortunately,
yes,
we have to talk about stuff that, one of the things that I really don't want to talk about, but might as well because it's relevant.
Yes.
And it's a team that we're both quite fond of.
I mean, I'm pretty glad we didn't talk about them last month because it wouldn't have aged well.
January was a bad month.
Yeah,
a really bad month.
Literally, in this next subject, if we talked about it in January, it would have been obsolete within 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So obviously, what's our first subject?
We're talking today. I specifically wanted to talk about the comments made and this whole title that has been added to it.
Yes.
When Roy Keane was on Sky Sports the other day, he was talking about saying he thinks Liverpool are bad champions.
So, I mean, obviously in January, Liverpool dropped a lot of points. They lost 3 on the bounce at Anfield. Well, the City game was at it's February, right? The City game. So they lost 3 on the bounce at Anfield. I mean, for the first time in 3-4 years. And then straight away they lost 3 in a row. So talk about bad
everything. Yeah. Bad juju, bad karma.
I mean, so if we actually talked about them in January, right? They were actually in the title race after beating Tottenham.
Yeah.
They were literally the contenders.
The pathway was there.
The contenders. They were doing everything correctly.
I would say that United was kind of finding their bearings.
Yeah. It all started after that draw with Man United. Man United draw and all that.
Yeah.
Or you could say the Burnley loss.
I would say the Burnley loss, you could see where a lot of people were just sort of losing their minds.
Yeah, at least when they lost with Southampton, it was not at home.
I posted a video on Instagram actually talking about the Burnley defeat.
Yeah.
And at the time was that was sobering,
Yeah.
Because I think for the last 2 or 3 years we've been kind of metaphorically high, because we were all this team is winning in Europe and it's winning in England and it's winning in all these places. But then we came to the point where this season happened, and then ever since the Van Dijk injury, there's been this bad taste.
After the Van Dijk injury, I mean, Gomez went out, Fabinho had to be playing centre back and then he got out. Matip in and out. Now he's out. And then let's not even talk about Nikita. That's normal. He's out again. Yeah.
And I think it all just started compounding, because even when Van Dijk's injury happened, there was still a sort of cohesion, because guys like Diogo Jota had stepped up and stuff like that, and we had an outlet. I think attacking wise, we were holding the fort, right? Until we reached the end of December, and that's when we really started to see
January, when starting from the Southampton loss, I mean, they really cannot attack, other than the West Ham game. But then again, they lost the next game after that.
I think the 2 good performances were West Ham and Spurs.
Yeah.
I think those were the only 2 games where we were
Spurs was technically in December, right?
Yeah. And I mean, sorry, that was it was in December, but prior to January, it was looking like somehow things were stabilized.
I mean, when it was Fabinho and Matip playing, there's no issue there. Even with the Nathaniel Phillips, to an extent, there's no issue.
Yeah.
In a way, but once Fabinho got injured, oh my god. You know, once Henderson had to be playing as centre back. I mean, there were a lot of hope. I mean, they did win a few matches with him playing as centre back. The West Ham game was pretty good, but we really need him in the midfield more than we need them in defense.
See, here's what I have, right? The problem is you're playing Henderson as a stopgap.
Yeah.
Stopgap is what stopgap means. Stopgap means you can get away with it for 2 games.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get away with it for like an entire month.
I think they played like 4 matches in a row.
I think this is very much mirroring the Laporte injury last year.
Yeah.
Only the fact that I saw Pep last season, Pep Guardiola of Man City, use Fernandinho as a centre back.
Yeah, it's exactly almost the same.
It's mirroring the same things.
Yeah.
It's not like City didn't win games. They won games, but they lost a lot of games because they were playing that way.
Yeah.
I remember the exact stretch of time when it was happening. And I remember sitting there going and saying, well, Fernandinho is a serviceable player. I don't think he's a centre back.
Yeah. Okay, let's just take a look at the City situation last season. I mean, they did not lose like a lot of centre backs. They just lost one, right? Laporte.
Yeah.
And they still had a lot of centre backs.
But they crumbled. Without Laporte at the back, they had a lot of problems.
Yeah, but they still had a lot of centre backs.
Of course, yeah.
Like Liverpool themselves, all their centre backs is injured. And
all of them.
Yeah, and their mid-due centre back Fabinho got injured as well.
That's the thing. The injuries just compiled, right?
Yeah.
So my main thing is, where does Roy Keane come off, right? Okay, Roy Keane went on Sky Sports. He was asked, blah blah blah. Roy Keane's a guy who talks a lot. He comes off and he says that Liverpool are bad champions.
Okay.
I don't know, man. Like for me, right? Yeah. Personally, I think I like Roy Keane. I like listening to Roy Keane only because there's entertainment value. And listening, get angry about old man stuff.
Obviously, the biasness. I love to hear his biasness.
And like, no, but Roy Keane is not biased to United.
Yes.
He's very critical of his team, and he's critical of teams that play badly. I understand that. But I think the statement "bad champions" is kind of redundant in this era of football.
Okay. In recent history, not even that long, there's a worse performing champions before this. Like, I think Chelsea was the nearest one. Jose Mourinho got sacked after beating the league. I think they finished.
They were at the bottom half of the table when he got sacked.
Yeah, I mean, I think they were like 8th or 7th. I don't even think 7. I think 8 or something.
Yeah.
At one point, Leicester. Okay, you can't say that they got a fluke season winning, but you still can't deny the fact that they were not defending champions, right?
Right.
Okay, and also, not only that, let's take a look at Man City last season. Just because of that Fernandinho playing centre back and Laporte injury, they got behind by like 20 points. At one point, they were 30 points behind of Liverpool. I mean, Liverpool this season, they had a lot more injury crisis. Not even in the midfield. Midfield they had injury crisis. They had a COVID scare where even Mane was not playing for a while. Jota was injured. And then Fabinho obviously injured, and he was a backup centre half.
Right.
Van Dijk injured, but they're still. I'm not saying they are in contention, but they are still a little bit there. 8 points, 10 points. It's not that bad compared to what Man City was last season to Liverpool.
Correct.
So I mean, to me, Man City last season is much worse than Liverpool is now, because Liverpool could still kind of finish second.
Kinda.
Yeah.
I think it just all happened at once. You know, the injuries happened, and then suddenly out of nowhere, Man City is picking up points.
Yeah.
And then the worst thing happened, which is all the United fans came out of their caves, and they started finding their little thing, and their form started picking up, and then they're second in the table, and then the whole topic became Liverpool have collapsed, United is going to challenge City. Or something like that, like along those lines, lah. And I think it's interesting that how form works, because when I look at this team, we've tried 16 different centre-back combinations in one season.
Literally.
I don't even need to tell you, it's a fact. All right, It's a fact that this is the case. The centre-back combinations have been so differing. We've played Nat Phillips and Henderson for the month of January most of the time.
Yep.
You know, and it's interesting to me that people want to take pot shots at us being champions at this moment. I get it. I understand. We're not doing our role of defending our title properly.
Yes.
I get that. But there are injuries to be considered in this case.
If you give Man City a chance last season because of Laporte injury, what's the difference with Liverpool this season?
It's because it's easy to pick on us now.
I mean,
It's the same thing that everyone wants to talk about, and also it doesn't help that our front three has been kind of wasting
that's
everything.
True, yeah.
I think we talked a lot about the defense injuries and all, but I feel the main problem we've had this season is the thing I've been saying. Y'all didn't want to hear me years ago when I said it. I'll say it now. Our front three has been played the most amount of minutes out of any other team in the league.
Yeah.
We've been using the same front three for 4 years straight. All right. The beginning of this season was different because we had Jota, and we had a way to switch the players and rotate. But now we're looking at a situation where our front three are not hitting the heights that we expect from them. And Mo Salah is a fantastic player, and I think Mo Salah is critical to us in terms of goal scoring. Yeah. But where in God's name is Sadio Mane and Firmino?
Yes.
Where are they? I don't see them. Have you seen them recently?
Well, not Mane.
I've not seen him do anything.
Yeah.
I've seen Firmino miss open shot after open shot. I've seen Mane not be a show this season.
Even Origi when he came on for a while.
And then there's the other thing that really grinds me is this Origi thing. Origi is a fantastic player for the team as a squad rotation type of guy. But if you're expecting him to right now show any kind of form, not happening. The guy's not been scoring. He's been brought on to be, I think, to give us a bit more flexibility on set pieces, probably, because we don't have the set piece threats that we usually do. You know, I just don't see the point why Jurgen keeps insisting on bring on Origi. But then I look at the bench and I go, okay, Jurgen, fine. You know, like, who the hell is the other striker on this bench? We got Shaqiri and we got, I don't know, Curtis Jones maybe. Like, I don't see the attacking outlet.
I think Shaq is pretty good as a forward, as a backup playmaker, but not as a scorer. But he can score at times. And I think Shaq has a pretty good dead ball when he just tries to cross and all that. He had a pretty good assist to Salah,
against West Ham, right?
That was very good. But other than that, they loaned off Takumi Minamino, who scored on his debut.
It's interesting because I did not see Minamino play since the Crystal Palace game.
Yeah, and he scored.
Where he scored in that game, and then he went to Southampton and he scored. I think Minamino is a victim of the fact that the team is good, but the fact that they don't want to play him in the midfield. I think we were so focused on trying to play him forward that we kind of missed out where his best position is.
He played left midfield in his debut at Southampton, and he scored.
I think Ralph Hasenhüttl needs to show Klopp that, if you play Takumi in the midfield, you're going to have a better time of it.
I think that might be good. Like, if he ends up being a midfielder next season, Liverpool might not even have to sign anyone.
That's what I'm saying. I hope he does come back. I like Takumi Minamino.
Yeah.
I hope he gets another chance. He's physically sometimes a bit off. I think he has some trouble with the physical teams. But if he does get a feel for the Premier League, I think you can develop experience over time and become better. I really hope so. Yeah. But now I come to the crux of my whole problem with Liverpool. All right, and this is the main thing I want to say. Stop playing Henderson at centre back. It's just not working. And the guy who's getting killed the most from playing Henderson at centre back is Thiago. Thiago is a fantastic player. Like, he's done a lot of great things this season. You look at the stats, right? 92% passing percentage. He's hitting through balls. He's doing everything. But the problem is the midfield is weaker when Henderson plays at the back.
Yeah, he needs the support from Henderson.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Ideally, we want our midfield to be Henderson, Gini, Thiago. These are the guys we want to be as the three midfielders. because that Gini Wijnaldum is someone who can combat, win the ball. You know, Henderson is someone who can press. Thiago is someone who can add some creativity and also distribute. You know, these are the factors that make the midfield better. I feel that putting Henderson in defense is the same thing that happened with Fernandinho last season, but Henderson is like so much more crucial than Fernandinho is for Man City. You saw how Gundogan played against us in the City game, right? Like we were hammered. Like Phil Foden built off of Gundogan and all this stuff, and both those guys played excellent because their midfield balance was good, and because we don't have that midfield balance, the team is struggling. So I understand Jurgen's having a problem because he doesn't want to throw two teenagers into the fire and just say, you two are the centre backs now, defend, and then they die, because the centre back position is a leadership position. More than most positions in football, the communication is necessary for the centre backs, because as you saw, without proper communication, the goalkeepers get killed, which led to the Alisson mistakes, I felt.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So Jurgen Klopp the other day, unfortunately, sad news, his mom passed away. Very, very sad to hear. You know, my heart goes out to Jurgen, really. He couldn't go back. And he had to deal with all these interviews and all this stuff. And then people like saying, oh, he's being hostile towards the journalist, you know, who's talking about points and how did you fall behind City and all this stuff. Well, his mom has died. Like, what the hell? Like, what's up with that?
He's not in the best of emotions right now.
No shit. Like, if I was him, I'd just say, hey.
He's automatically in defense mode, you know.
To be fair to him, if I was him, right, I would be like, hey, Pep Linders, can you come here, man? Look, man, I can't do this. I can't deal with all of this. I'm going now. You just like talk to them or something, okay? And then ciao, like, you know what I mean? And then, like, just because he got angry, everyone's like Steve Nicol. Oh, people are picking on Liverpool because you shouted at the journalist. I'm like, what?
I mean, like, he's not the first guy to do that.
He's not the first guy to do that.
And those other people that did not have their mother pass away.
I understand. You know what I think? I know what people are gonna go at. Oh, but you know, Jose gets called out whenever he says something bad. Why does Klopp get special treatment? You know, Jurgen Klopp needs to be put into it. Listen, first of all, anyone saying that Klopp needs to be sacked for this recent amount of stuff that has happened, it's been 1 month of poor football. Please, you know, you're all calling Ancelotti the messiah of the grand universe just a couple of months ago. You thought that freaking what's his name, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is now the messiah. You know, like, I'm just saying that maybe you all need to chill out, alright, and see that the guy has actually done a lot of shit for this team. Sorry for swearing. He's done a lot of shit for this team. They've built this team, okay? They've had some unfortunate injuries. Now they need to learn how to cope. It's half a season. There's still half a season to go with the European tournament. You know, let's not call for the hasty acts of managers just because it's, you know, the trendy thing to do or something.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, of course, he's gonna be defensive, right?
Yeah,
it's normal.
I would be defensive. Like, you know, someone comes to you and says, hey, your sales numbers are the worst I've ever seen. You're going to go like, you know, I can imagine Dazlan in combat mode, man. He's gonna take the axe and like go, bring it.
I'm a pacifist, bro.
Pacifist.
I mean, like, okay, I understand, but you know, it's not like as though he went all defensive and saying that what he achieved in the past, right? I can imagine. I think he did it. You know, Jose was like, out of nowhere, he said, I won 3 Premier Leagues alone combined.
3-0. And I have more trophies.
And he's like, he demands respect, you know. It's like,
respect,
you know,
man. Respect.
Jurgen, he never did something like that, you know. He never got in your face.
I love Mourinho. He's so funny.
It's like, I love Mourinho saying that, but he disrespected Arsene Wenger, who won 3 also.
Bro, yeah, man.
Yeah.
No, he didn't just disrespect Arsene Wenger. Yeah. He waited till Arsene Wenger got sacked. He's like, I'm gonna use this today in my press conference. You know, gonna get these fuckers. You know, and that's why. So, okay, moving forward, Liverpool are facing Leicester, and then this Leipzig game as well coming up. Yeah. So these are two really crucial games.
Apparently, if Leipzig, obviously it's not going to be played in Germany.
Budapest.
Yeah. Okay, it's confirmed already.
Yeah.
So okay.
Or Bucharest or Budapest, one of those two places.
Okay. So the game is going on. So okay, I mean they signed 2 centre backs.
Yeah.
Which is in Kabak. From
Ozan Kabak
and Ben Davies. Not the Tottenham one.
Not the Tottenham one.
The Preston North End one.
You tell them the Preston North End one, so it's not like anyone's gonna know. Okay. I mean, Preston North End will know, but probably not everyone else.
Okay, I mean, they did not play the last 2 matches, surprisingly, but
because Jurgen doesn't do that. Yeah.
So okay, maybe they have to be playing in this match.
Which is what is interesting. Like, if you were the manager, right? Would you put them in the last 2 games?
I would, but not in the last 2 games. No, it was too early, especially the first game. I think against West Ham. No.
Was it West Ham or was it
Brighton?
Brighton.
Yeah, Brighton. I wouldn't play them at all. It was too early. I think it was like 2-3 days straight away.
Yeah.
So okay, for this newer match
against Man City, would you have thrown Kabak in there?
Kabak, yes. Okay, in the Leipzig game, I would play Kabak, no doubts. Only because he has experience in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, but I mean, the Bundesliga where he did maybe not the best type of opponents to play him against, no?
I mean, I understand, but you know, it's either that or Henderson.
Okay, yeah, fine. I agree with you.
We need Henderson the most.
I agree.
Henderson plays pretty good against Germany.
Because now apparently Fabinho's injured again. He's not going to travel to Leicester.
Yeah.
Leicester's a big game because Leicester's above us.
Yeah.
In the table. So would you say that now is the best time to play these 2 and say, look, Kabak, Davies, come here. I signed you 2. Okay, I now unleash you and go forth.
I think not play both of them at once. I think Nat Phillips has to be playing. The other one has to be.
Yeah.
Okay, Ben Davies.
But after, I wouldn't. It's hard. It's hard to play. It's hard for me to.
4-1 against Man City with Henderson as your partner. So, and 2 of the goals is Alisson's fault, arguably. So, okay.
By the way, guys, Alisson is still a great keeper.
Yeah,
keepers make mistakes.
Yeah, it's true. And then the first Man City match where Nat Phillips played, it was a 0-0 draw. So clean sheet there. I think Nat Phillips is still pretty solid.
So would you say that Kabak and Davies are the answer right now? You just go with them.
Yes, I do. But
you mix them around with Nat Phillips, right?
Yeah, Nat Phillips, especially against Leicester, because we know what Leicester is, and we do not want to be experimenting with Davies. Davies, if you look at it, he's pretty good. If you look at his highlight reels and all that, he's pretty physical. He goes 50-50, and he really goes in. But this is in the Championship. So, and Davies himself said that he wants to be an intelligence player. So
he's left-footed.
He's left-footed, and he wants to be passing the ball a lot. He wants to bring the ball forward.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen that in top level as of yet.
Look, I already know what the tactic is going to be. Sit back and counter.
Yeah.
And Leicester will play the same style. They'll counter. My question now is
Jamie Vardy is going to be a very big question.
Yeah. So my question is, Kabak needs to be disciplined.
Yep.
And he needs to be very disciplined when he's defending because
he has a pretty bad temperament.
Yeah, rumored. But again, maybe this team has more leadership for him. Mm-hmm. So the counter is going to be important. I think how they deal with that.
So okay, now the other issue right now with Liverpool, it's not defending. With the matches where they lost, they actually didn't lose that much. Other than the City game, they lost by like 1-0.
By 1 goal, yeah.
And then they drew 0-0 or something.
3 consecutive 1-0 losses.
That big issue is also in attacking. You have to, as they say, offense is the best defense.
Yeah, we usually win games that we score first in.
Yeah. But yeah, we don't even have the opportunity to score first now.
That's the problem. And the thing is that we sort of don't have that aggressiveness that we usually do.
I'm
hoping the Leicester game will be something where the team can really come together and show the new guys, you know, a unified front.
We've okay, as you said, Fabinho was injured, right? He's injured, but we've never actually seen Fabinho partner with Thiago as of yet in their prime.
Right.
So I think in future, when Fabinho is fit, I do want to see that. I want to see Thiago like as he was in Bayern Munich, you know.
Yeah, I think it's a new team. Yeah. They kind of need to find their bearings first.
So currently, right now, I mean, the most safest is in the midfield is Thiago, Henderson, and Gini.
I would say that would be the best midfield. Yeah, I would see that. I think honestly, in my opinion, you throw both the guys in both the games. Throw them in the Leicester game, throw in the Leipzig game, and go for it. Because
for defense,
in our defense.
So Kabak and Davies. So Kabak and Davies have to start for both teams.
Yeah. If it's a case of fit, then I would say that Kabak, Phillips would be the best.
Okay.
Until Davies is like ready to, you know.
I mean, right now for me, it's against Leicester, so I wouldn't take Davies as of yet. I mean, Nat Phillips, just based on him, he's already gelled with the team.
So Kabak and Phillips would be your best bet.
Yes.
Because remember the fact that Phillips has to cover for Trent. So Kabak has to cover for Robertson.
Yeah, I understand.
And both these guys need to have their communication spot on for the middle of the park.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so that'll be the interesting thing for me to see.
It entirely depends on what Henderson is playing as. You know, is he going to be playing as a CDM?
I definitely think he will drop a bit deeper.
Yeah, I think
maybe just shield
Gini
guys.
Will have to be playing
Gini and Thiago will,
and Thiago has to be playing the pivoting passing role.
Yeah, it's been a hard start, but
it also entirely depends on how Firmino's form is. Is he going to be dropping deep, or is he going to just go all forward?
The problem now that we have with this is Jota's not ready for 2 to 3 weeks, so he's not coming back right now.
He is training.
He's training, yeah. Then you've got this. I think Salah is a serviceable target offensively.
Yeah, I mean he's not considered a flop this season. He's scored enough goals.
Dude, he's already scored like 20 goals. Like, you know, I think
he's number 1 right now in the Golden Boot.
And yet people are going to come at me with this whole Salah's not
4-season wonder.
You just cannot look at goals, Nikhil. I'm like, yo, what are we watching? Are we watching basketball or something? I didn't know that goals didn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
Since when did goals not matter?
Yeah.
Like, give me a break. Mo Salah's legit. I don't even need to have this argument. The guy is double-digit assists, double-digit goals every season. You want stats? That's stats for you. The guy is an offensive power.
He is a Chelsea flop, but definitely not a Liverpool flop.
Definitely not. You know, definitely not. If anything, I would say that I question how Mane and Firmino are going to make their stamp on this team again, because I think they've let us down. I think Mane and Firmino have let us down considerably.
Honestly, I think Curtis Jones has to be playing in it in the second half somehow.
You think so?
Yeah. If Gini does not work out.
I think Klopp thinks the same way you do in that sense. He does do that sometimes.
Also, in the wings, if Mane does not perform, I do really think that Ox can come in. Because Ox, he will not be playing full 90 minutes. But when he do come on late in the game, he really does change the dynamic of the game.
Yeah.
He changes the dynamic. You can see that in West Ham, even though he came on in the 80th minute, or once he came on, he really changed the dynamic.
I remember Ox, if he comes on,
he's an impact player.
A lot of people laughed when I said this, but I said that just having the threat that can shoot from outside sometimes puts pressure on the other team.
He loves to score against Man City. I mean, top teams, he really loves to score.
Well, it's Leicester this time around.
So I think out of the box, he's the best right now.
You think so?
Yeah. From out of the box. The threat from out of the box.
Yeah.
He has a dead ball. It's not even a curving ball, it's a dead ball.
That hits right in, right?
Yeah. So even if he replaces Bobby Firmino, I think no issue there. I mean,
I think Klopp's going to make a curve ball and just so, hey Ox, you're starting for money. Go. Like, everyone will be like, what?
It may be, you know, like Mane has not been
performing
at all.
He'd be pissed.
Yeah, he'd be pissed. I mean, he'd be pissed.
I guess we need to see, man.
Bobby Firmino, because let's talk about Bobby Firmino right now. shortly, just a short.
Just a short one, huh?
I mean, like, he's currently right now playing very deep. Might as well just be a attacking centre defender.
Central attacking midfield.
Yeah, ACM. Just play Ox, you know. If it's not working out, just play Ox.
Just play Ox.
You know, that's what I have to say. You know, Ox might not be playing 90 minutes as of right now, but you know, he scored that early goal, just screw it, defend, just score. So yeah.
Hello, Jurgen Klopp? Yeah, hi Jurgen, yeah.
Yes.
Dazlan says play Ox.
Yes.
Play him now.
Yes.
Alright? Don't worry, Dazlan, help is on the way.
Yes.
Help is on the way.
Yes, I'll buy a Nobel car for you.
Okay, so I think that concludes this. I mean,
wait. What do you think? Like,
I think
Firmino week in week out, it's almost been 2 months, no results from Firmino. Okay, you can say December. West Ham game, it really looks like there's no difference if he played or not. So what do you think? You might as well you want to give it a shot for Firmino. Is either that or it's Origi who. Origi. Yeah.
I actually am of the belief that we should eventually transition into a 4-2-3-1.
Okay.
I believe this because I believe 4-3-3 is very difficult given the current players we have.
So who's going to be in front?
So I would say the front man needs to be Salah.
Okay. So the two wings behind?
It needs to be probably Mane, or take your pick, like Ox, Shaqiri, whatever.
So the middle behind?
So the one behind would probably be our boy Firmino.
Alright.
That would be the way. In this game, however, I kind of want to give our front three a chance.
Yeah.
I want to give the Firmino Salah Mane thing one push for it.
It all depends on Henderson playing.
Yeah.
What he do.
Maybe when Henderson comes back in the midfield,
play as a number 6.
Yeah, and those guys can work better.
Yeah.
Because they know they've got a reliable, guy holding the pivot at the back.
And yes, and you have been an advocate for this deliverance from a centre back.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people would just say defender, just defend, don't give a crap about passing. But it is important.
I had this argument on the forum, and I said, everything is built in Liverpool. How Liverpool play. I don't know about other teams. Maybe I'm wrong about other teams. But when Liverpool play, everything is built from the back.
Yep.
In a term where the ball is distributed to the front. Yep. That's why when we go and buy centre backs, our centre backs need to be fast. They need to play off the ball.
Like Van Dijk, he lobs the ball.
We sacrifice physical and jumping power. Like a lot of our aerial defense is bad traditionally because we sacrifice these things for intelligent defenders who can play from the back. Who can distribute the ball, push forward. We got lucky because Van Dijk is a full package, right? But if you saw at the beginning of the season, Gomez was struggling, and the team had some problems as well because Gomez was struggling. They were picking on that side because they know that our centre backs are not necessarily like strong or aerially powerful. But what they build from that, we sacrifice them. What they do have is they have speed, and they can pass the ball from the back, and they help distribute the ball to the front. It's how Salah, and if you look at a lot of our balls, how we play, Ben Davies is like a carbon copy of long passes that we do.
But then he did play in the championship. But okay.
I mean style. I'm talking style of play here.
Yeah.
All that other championship stuff, like it comes that. But I can see the DNA.
Yes.
I can see the DNA of the type of defender that they need and the type of defenders that we buy.
Yeah.
Which is why people, when they say Tarkowski and all these guys, I'm like, they're not gonna buy those guys because the distribution is just not as good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You don't just need defense.
That's why they rather buy a guy from the championship because the style of play is what we like.
Yeah.
So that's where I stand on it as a total.
Yeah. Alright.
So that's it for this one. What do you guys think about Liverpool's recent struggles? Do you agree with Roy Keane? No, probably Man United fans will.
I think Liverpool is going to make it in the top 2, maybe?
I think right now the focus should be top 4.
Yep.
But I really hope we make a real run in Europe. Obviously, a lot of wishful thinking.
Yep.
But yeah, tell us what you think and comment below, guys. And don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And please smash that
like button.
and we'll see you guys on the flip side.